God, it's like already so dark in this room. Like, you can really hear, like, you know, we've got, even with my light behind me over there, like, it's just dark. Oh, my meditation's off on me. Let's turn this on. Good. Good, good, good. I had loads of viewers today. It was kind of wild. It was just Ludum Dare being like a thing. It's like not even started yet. But I had to go take a break, so now everyone's gone. Let's see if I need a... Actually, I've got some Cookie Poke changes I need to commit. Let's make sure nothing is like super broken first. We change the input. Swap stuff. The film I was working. Yeah, I'll just check what I need there. Hey, Trunks. Oh, looks fairly non-flashy to me. Oh, we've seen this, by the way. I've got a pause menu. Oh, you can't see anything because I'm still on this screen. That's better. We're well good at this. Yeah, legit. We got a pause menu. Ooh. And the statistics thing that doesn't show anything yet. And you look at these buttons, we get little are you sure? Wishlist on Steam opens the Steam page. Quit. Are you sure? Yes. Do you want to? Pretty happy with how that's coming together. Like, I want it to be of a quality that's like just good enough. That's like, if I need to ship with it, we can do that. And I think it's I think how it is at the moment is looking pretty good. Let me turn the window. Well, no. And path episode. Thank you, Unknown. Very nice of you. Need coffee up? I'm sure you can. You're back too, thanks. What game engine do we use? We use GameMaker. This old thing. GameMaker the second. What's that? Cool. Alright. That's Pokey Poke squared away. Now we need to actually start making... I feel like I should have like a template project, but it would like change all the time, so that's probably not worth it. Why wallpaper? 54. Okay, we'll make like a new IDE because I'm going to grab some stuff from other projects. Some frequent offenders. And try and put together a kind of the best kind of, I don't know, do what I can do without, you know, actually making any game components or, oh wow, we already had another IDE. Blech. Or knowing the theme, you know? I still need to get around to really playing with Godot. Knowing when or where to fit that into my life is difficult. Round 2, yes. It's the final countdown, and it took a lot for me to not say that in tune. It's pretty different, yeah. I mean, honestly, the main thing I was like, I just wouldn't be able to go back to 1.x because it just, I don't know, it feels like it's like in a browser or something, like the way it, like leaves weird white space and stuff around the edge and just like everything, I don't know, just ugly. I think it's still built on that weird, like, Delphi foundation, right? I am doing well. I am looking forward to LD. I'm like really getting tired right now, because and this is what's really annoyed me about like the change in like the start time. Like, it's starting around my bedtime. Like, you know, like 11 o'clock is like not always, but like is the time I'm like at least thinking about going to bed, you know? It's the time I like really consistently stop anything on my computer at. Anyway, like, I don't do anything on my PC after 11 o'clock, normally. Today we'll probably be on for a few more minutes talking about a theme or whatever, but generally speaking, I don't do my PC in my office after 11 because I need my beauty sleep. And what's so upsetting about the thing starting then is it's just like, it's perfectly optimized for me to lose as much time in the jam as possible. Because when it started at like 2 AM or whatever the next day, it was just like, it's whatever, I'll just go to bed. Wake up, learn what the theme is, and go, right? You know, I don't lose, you know, yeah, I lose some time, but like, not that much, and it kind of works out. Whereas this is just like, okay, how do we maximize the time during the jam that Sean is asleep? Or not even asleep, like even the time I'm spending like getting ready for bed, like it's all like just like time that's just goes. So it's like I lose 12 hours before like anything even happens. It's wild. I mean, not 12 hours, but like, I don't know, probably not far off. Like 10. There's a lot about 1.x I can go back to, like the way he did backgrounds and dials and stuff, not having proper tile maps. It is like very much kind of a new engine now. Anyway, I want some stuff. I think I want some of the helpers from in here. I should probably refactor out as not being helpers anymore, but it's at least nice, convenient place to grab some of these. The array of strains. That's a thing. Oh, I want that. Get curve out. Curve wide X. It's nice. Why don't I even what's distance? Like distance to point already exists. Like what's this about? Do I use that somewhere? Why do I have a script? Why do I have a function that's just like distance like that? That's just distance to point, no? I don't seem like I use it anymore. Oh wait, what's this?
Beautiful.
Oh, maybe it was inked. Maybe ink didn't know that was a thing. I always forget looking at Pokeball now. I'm not the only person who writes code in it. I'll have to ask him. Maybe he just doesn't know that distance to point is a thing, or maybe he did it for a reason. I don't know. Yeah, true unknown. Like there is that, but like, if anything, that just makes it harder to sleep. Because I've done that before, where it's like I'm gonna stay up until 2 AM when I was younger and more capable of doing that without feeling awful. Like I would do that, right? And then I would get the theme and be like, okay, cool, and I'd be like, I'll go to bed and like think of ideas while I'm trying to. But it would just either, like, it would just make it hard to sleep because I'd be trying to think of things, and especially if I was struggling to think of something, I'd find it really hard to sleep. If I came up with something quickly, and it was like, all right, yeah, I'm probably gonna do this kind of thing, then I'm gonna like, you know, well, even then I'll start being like thinking about how I'm gonna do it, planning it out in my head, you know. But then it's a little easier to try and be like, alright, I know what I'm doing now and go to bed. But like, especially if I'm really struggling to come up with something, I'm like, no, don't want to sleep until I at least have a vague idea. So I think it was better before when I was just like, yeah, we go to bed way before it happened. Hope that I don't wake up in the middle of the night, because then I'll check. And I don't know, I wake up all the time, so they generally happen a lot. And I made the mistake as well. We started talking about some things, and I actually really got quite mentally invested in my like idea for the what was it? Strange machinery, and also works for salvage. So I'll be really happy if it's one of them now, but like I need to like divest myself from the idea because, you know, it's very good chance it's not going to be one of them. Right? Take a round point. Yeah, it could be handy. function. Uses mod as well, so it can fairly. How would it be less than there? Wave, always a good in. Point camera we can't really use without changing some of these values, relying on that particular camera. We don't know that we'll even need or want. Approach is very good. Like concat as well. Wow, chat happened a lot. Please don't take this in a negative way if I ever tried wearing braces. It's kind of hard not to take that in a negative way. Yeah, I know my teeth are a mess, but like, I don't know, they're kind of extremely a mess. I'm not really sure braces are effective for my particular amount of mess. Like, I have teeth, like it's a bit late, you know, like, I've got, like one on my bottom, you can't really even, like, I'm not gonna open my mouth and really show you, but it's like, it looks like a complete row of teeth in the front, but one of them is actually, like, pushed right behind the others, and it just looks like I've got this mysterious extra tooth that just, like, sticks out, like, behind the others. Like, you can't just brace these into shape, you know? It would be like completely restructuring the shape of my gums. If I want to participate, CS2 is kind of like, oh, yeah. I saw Counter-Strike 2 game, and I'm just like, why do things keep coming out when I have no time to play them? Admittedly, that's like most of the time these days, but like... It feels like you're more invested in my teeth than I am. Donate to, like, go on me, my teeth. Like, I don't care about it. Not really. Like, I'm not fussed about my teeth. It's hard right when you're going to sleep. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It's like, it's getting late. It's getting late for me too. I mean, it's like, what, just coming up to 10 o'clock? We've got a whole hour to wait. Whole hour. Feed from strength phone? I don't really remember what that does. There you go, it's on the screen. I think it's just like turns. I think all this does is just turn a word into a consistent number, right? That's pretty much all it do. Don't know why that's in here. Why is that in Pokepoke? Do I use it somewhere? No, it's just in here. Don't know why. I need to clean all this up. Is Roblox allowed for Ludum Dare competitions? Probably not. I don't know, it's like, because you've got to have Roblox to play, like... I mean, I guess, actually, I don't know, maybe. You can make board games, right? You can submit board games and things somewhere you want, but it might make it harder to get ratings, because people need to have Roblox to play it or whatever. probably already answered this, but what theme would I most like to see be chosen and least like to see, or aren't you really fussed? Well, because I've accidentally invested a bunch of time thinking about an idea for Strange Machinery, suddenly it would be quite cool if that got picked, even though it's not even close to like my favorite theme on there. It's now like the one I have like the most fully formed and invested in idea. Or salvage, because my thing works for that too. But I mean, I can show you my vote. So like, it's a really good set. Like it's a really good final round. There was some I really didn't like in round 1, round 2, but they've been voted out, and like all the ones that are left, even the ones I voted down, like they're all good. Yeah, Locks and Keys is like one of the weaker ones. Break the Cycle I think is actually probably really cool, but I was really struggling with it just to even think of like high level ideas for it. So I'm just like, I don't want to struggle. So no. I even voted down. No, I've got to vote it up now. I've come up with a thing because I think it was one of the weaker ones, but then I don't know, I was talking about it and I was like, what would I do for it? And I was like, I'm gonna do this kind of thing. Actually, that would be pretty cool. The LD took me by complete surprise to the point you almost missed it. Yeah, I mean, that kind of like happened to me with the last few. Like, it makes me kind of sad. Like, I did like every Ludum Dare from I don't know, it was what? Was it like 30 or 29 or something was my first one? What was Plain Straw? Yeah, 30. 30 was my first one. I did them all from there, and there was one I missed out. And it's not from 38, so it's somewhere between 30 and 38. I missed one. Oh no, it was here. It was 43. I missed 43. But yeah, like all the way from 30. Right, 30 to 42 is an unbroken streak. And then 44 to 49. And then I've not done any since 49. I didn't do 50, didn't do 51, didn't do 52, didn't do 53. Grim. It makes me kind of sad. Don't know, it was just like a tradition. And like, I don't know, it's just always really fun. But like, there is something about it where it's just like you feel like you're not getting as much out of them as you used to, but they're just fun. What I need, like, the one of the problem is like, as you get better, the scoping issue gets harder, not easier. It almost feels like, you know, like you start off like kind of knowing that you can't do that much, so you don't try and do that much. Then it gets harder when it's suddenly like, hey, I know how to do all the things in this crazy idea, but I'm not actually capable of like realizing that it would take me way too long, even though I could do it. Like, it's obvious when you like just don't have the skills to do something really complicated that it would take you too long. But now it's like, well, I could do all that stuff eventually. I'm sure I can cram that into 48 hours. So like, yeah, like this, I mean, actually, yeah, just from like here onwards, from like 40 onwards, we made some really big overscopes. With the exception of Click the Balloons, this was actually like really low scope. And Fireball was well scoped. That was actually really good. And Depth was good as well. These two are the bangers in my more recent jam history. Obviously, Trial Tension was a wild thing of its own, but it was a weird. I don't know. There's a weirdness with that. Streams for deving Depth. Yeah, Depth was so fun. Really enjoyed that. Keep getting people asking about like 3D stuff or whatever, but like, I don't know. My patrons never want to see it. Whenever I do like a poll, like, hey, I could cover. Here are some things I was thinking about doing videos about. What do you want to see? Like 3D stuff, just like no one cares. So I'm like, all right. Even though I think it's really interesting. Oh my god, I've closed one of my chats. I keep forgetting I've got two. I'm gonna go turn the jam game into a video. I mean, I tend to do like time lapses at the very least. This is why I see some people already talking about making most of their submission with AI. Let them. Like, who cares? Like, how good do you think that's going to be? There might be like a certain slice of game that's actually really good for, maybe like just producing certain assets and whatnot. But I don't know. Like, I don't know, like there was drama about that like a while back, where it's sort of this question of, do we allow AI tools and stuff for things like Ludum Dare? I'm guessing if that's what people are saying, then I'm guessing it kind of settled on it is what it is and we're going to grow around it, which is the usual Ludum Dare way, and I think it's the right way. But yeah, I don't know. Complicated. Oh, no one's going to be using the AI to code their game. That's not a thing. No more than they would be using Google to code their game, right? People might just use it for like asset generation. Well, like the best kind of uses of it really are things like, you know, kind of trying stuff out and getting kind of like visual ideas. No, it's worse than you would think, Casual Pigeon. It's not better than you would think, it is worse than you would think. I'm very aware of what it's capable of. It's Google. It's Google. It's like saying, you know, Stack Overflow can create functional scripts, and you're like, of course it can. It's not creating anything. Not really. It's just a language model. Well, no, someone who doesn't know how to program at all just won't be able to really use it. They just won't really be able to make use of it. Like, they won't really even know what to ask. Like, that is just ridiculous to even think they could. Yeah, it's just like, there's some gains on it over just using Google, and that's about it. Because it's a language model and can interpret kind of what you're asking for and sort of fill in a couple of gaps for you. better than just literally scraping the first sort of forum post example or whatever. But it's like, I don't know, it's just doing that with a bit of assistance, you know? It is just let me Google that for you.com, really, like. Which is infinitely better than Google doing that, maybe? I don't know. I don't rate it. And when it, the thing is, it's like by the time it gets better, it's just it goes nowhere. You know, it's just it's like the coolest thing about it with code is like getting it to the point where it's like is so much better than Google, where it's like all the known problems that we know how to solve that are out there don't really take any new learning on the part of the programmer. I mean, it's always going to need some to inject it into your code, especially a project of any kind of scale. But like, you know, being able to be like, just get me like, you know, Perlin noise thing or whatever other thing, and just like being able to drop it in and so on is cool. But I don't know, it's not that hard to just do that stuff the manual way through Google, you know? It's just not. There's a million and one ways to get code that you don't understand and be able to plop it into your thing and be able to just change it a little bit and then it works, you know? You can usually just tell it to not lie. What? Use it for obscure bugs. I don't even know how I would use it for finding obscure bugs. Well, like, I don't know, syntax checking or whatever. But I mean, look, I don't know. IntelliSense does that for me, you know? Like, what? I don't know. I just don't think it's going the direction people are think that it's going, especially when people are like, oh, imagine in a few more years. I'm like, no, I don't think it's gonna do what you think it's gonna do. It's gonna do cool stuff, but I don't quite think it's what you think. Like what? Well, give me an example. I'm curious of like what logic errors it found. Because the bugs, like the kind of bugs that like get me are not like there are things across like 50 different scripts that like couldn't even type all that into ChatGPT and be like, this is how this works and this is how this works, and it would be too much to explain. And like, it usually comes down to like under the hood GameMaker stuff that like I don't fully understand. And that ChatGPT won't really even understand. Like, for it to replace a programmer, it needs to be intelligent. It doesn't need to be a language model is not intelligent. We call it AI and it's a misnomer. Machine learning is not machine intelligence, you know? Like, Like, yeah, it can solve objective problems in the same way a calculator can, right? But a calculator is not intelligent. It is very diffuse, because existence is very diffuse. Yeah, kind of, but not really, because it can't create anything. It is mimicry. That's why it's what I mean when I say it's just Google. No, it can't. Like, by definition, it can't. Yeah, we do mimic it. But we also have, like, senses and can perceive the world. And, like, we have experiences that are not just the things that we've been input as data that it can scrape. Like, it's not the same thing. I don't care what little philosophy you think you've cooked up on it. It's nonsense. It's just not the same. And it's nowhere near the same, just technologically it's not. I'm not saying we won't ever get there, but what it is not what it is. And when it gets to there, then we have way different questions on our mind, you know, than like, oh my god, does this replace programmers? Like, we're in a whole different place. Those are big questions. It's not. No. I hate this. I'm gonna stop talking about it now because, like, Ludum Dare is more interesting than the same boring conversation with people who think this stuff. Like, it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. It's not where it is. It's fundamental. Just, you don't understand what the technology does if you think that it's like that. It's just not. It's Google. It's Google. It's fancy Google. This is all going to be a part of Thoughts on last year's theme? First of all, it's not yearly. It's not yearly. It's like twice. Yeah. It used to be 3. I'm not sure. I'm actually sure at the moment. But I don't know what the previous theme was. Oh no, we got credential throwing around. No, shoo. Not interested. I'm gonna sit and be well actually by some fucking AI nerd. No, go, shoo. You're not the player? Yeah, terrible. Awful theme, what does that even mean? Like, I get what people are gonna be, like, the idea is, right? It's just, like, trying to, like, okay, let's create a game where, like, whatever the player does is kind of, like, represented by the game, or, like, you know, AI in the game or whatever, right? But I hate, yeah, I really don't like when themes do that whole, like, I don't know, just try and flip a thing on its head. Imagine it, but this way, kind of like flipperoo thing, and it like uses game-specific terms like player. Am I going for the compo? Probably not, because I'm going to a thing tomorrow. I actually thought it was Sunday, but it turns out it's tomorrow. with a bunch of my friends, which is just like getting together for a meal at like somewhat like 5-6 o'clock ish, and so that's gonna eat up like that evening. Which I don't know, like I could still go. It depends on the scope of what I'm building and how I feel about it on the Sunday. Like, it's possible I could still go for the combo. I'd like to, it's like what I prefer doing. I'll generally be working in the same spirit of it anyway, by kind of just working on it by myself and doing my own like thing from scratch, but like chances are I'll be doing the jam. Feels like it's quite a lot of time to lose, and we've already got the stupid start time working against me, which doesn't cost me that much, but I don't know, it cost me like 3 hours. It kind of, well, more than that really, because like it also shifts where the deadline is, right? Or am I accounting for that? I don't know. Maths is hard. Yeah, it's like I'm spending those 3 more hours asleep. And then instead of ending at 2 AM Monday, it ends at 11 o'clock Sunday night. It just feels worse in every way. Actually, just can't do the math. I'm trying to work out, is that it lost like 3 hours or if I lost 6? I think it's just 3. Yeah, I mean, like, I imagine ChatGPT could do that. It's actually somewhat disappointing if it couldn't. Code to make a game similar to Pac-Man. Yeah. Like, classic well-known game, right? There's a well-known problem. I think that was the thing that really got me, was that stupid article or someone. It was like, oh yeah, like game developers are going to be obsolete soon because sooner or later you're going to be able to just tell AI, give me Minecraft meets Unreal Tournament or whatever, or Fortnite meets some other game, and it'll be able to, I'm just like, those sound like the worst game ideas you could ever imagine. Just throwing together games that exist does not create good games. Like, one of the worst things about, like, when they first get into, like, game design, yeah, computer be creative for me, is that, like, they try, like, the ideas they have for games, they don't realize how terrible they are. It's like, I played loads of games, I can imagine a game that'll be super, super fun, and they can, like, envision it in their head, and it's just, like, the worst idea actually imaginable. And I don't just mean in the sense of the scope, I mean, the idea is bad. Like, it's not fun, it's like, it wouldn't work. And then put that on top of the scope of it being ridiculous. I want to make this MMO RTS where then you can like take control of the units and it becomes an FPS and like, or whatever, like, insane thing. Do I look for games made in GM? If so, we should check it. I'm aware of 2D and Top D. It's a really cool game. I played it on Feedback Friday, I'm pretty sure. Hey, Balder Van Martin. Hi, Sean. It's Mike. I know quite a few Mikes. You might have to be more specific if you're a real-life Mike that I know. We've got 35 minutes. Oh my god, yeah. I don't have those whole scripts. I feel like I was going to set up more stuff, but I can't really remember anything else I need. Whatever. Oh, GM Live would be good, actually. You actually rewatched the feedback? Wow, really? The thing with those is, like, I feel like hardly anyone watches them. Like, the view count is so low, so that's kind of why I was like, it became hard to keep wanting to do them. You can start with a trash idea and still end up with a good game if you iterate on and reconsider. I mean, maybe, but then you just... I mean, it depends a lot on what that idea was, but also... At that point, is it the same idea? Right. That's like saying you can start with a bad idea and end up with something good if you change that idea. You know? Like, I mean, yeah, I suppose you're not wrong. I mean... yeah. Grab... Actually, we'll just grab, like, a fresh below it, because I've got the weird, kind of messed up one. No, wait, okay. Hold on. No, it already exists, I closed it. Oh, sure. I mean, yeah, that's not really what I was talking about, though. That's my favorite. Yeah, I mean, people do have the worst sense of scope, but like, I mean, mine isn't that much better. You know, I've the jam game history to prove it, but like, the thing with it is, it's like, you kind of gotta let people have that scope. I feel like there's no, doesn't matter how often we tell people like, oh, you want to start small, or whatever. I'm not even sure it's good advice. I actually think it can be better to just start trying to do ridiculous stuff, and then when you go to try to do it, you suddenly you're very, very quickly like hit in the face with how much you obviously just can't do that, right? And I feel like that's like lived experience. Like, there's no replacement for that, right? Like, someone just telling you like, oh, you should start small and so on. Especially if you don't want to start small. You know, you don't want to make Pac-Man or whatever, right? You don't want to make... I mean, Pac-Man's actually like not really all that simple, but like, you know, you don't want to make like an Asteroids or a Pong or whatever, you know? Just for the sake of like learning, like, because you're not into it for the sake of learning programming, right? Or into it for the sake of learning. The tools are means to an end. You want to make games that excite you and you're interested in. So sometimes I think, yeah, start with something that's cool that you want to try and do. That's the simplest thing that's exciting. You want to start with the simplest thing that's exciting to you. You know, and that simplest thing that's exciting to you might still just be beyond your reach, but just try anyway. slam into it and then adjust from there. Hey Sean, just wanted to understand how to join the jam. To create an account, I need an invite. What is it? How do I get one? I really want to join this one. It's my first ever thing. See if you help me. So first of all, you don't actually need to worry about this stuff just yet. It's nice to get your account set up and everything, but you don't need to like be a part of the jam before it starts and like make sure you're signed up or anything like that. You have the full submission hour at the end. I mean, it is only an hour, but like you get an hour at the end to like sort all that out and get it submitted, right? Like you can just work on your game, make the game in the time, and then just make your account and submit it at the end if you really want to. But I go to the Twitter. I don't know what this deal is about. I don't know what this invitation code thing is. Oh, this was May 20th. Account signups ldjam.com closed, but will open again for LD54. Invitation codes will be available soon after some DB spam cleaning. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It says, I mean, this was September 21st, but apparently this code worked. I'll post that. Yeah. So try that. Make an account. But yeah, I mean, it helps to have your account made and then like have your game ready to your thingamajigger. Like go to like you can join the event, make the game and whatnot, but you don't have to have that done prior to just taking them. I don't know, like, can I invite people? I don't know how that works. How can I get an invitation code? I think that's the thing. I think it's just that's a code. I'm not sure. It's kind of annoying. I think it's annoying that they've had to do that for whatever reason. They had a forum? I don't remember before. There's a Discord, I think. It seems to remember mentioning the Discord. Why is the Discord? I want to join the Discord. I've never been to this part of the website. Is there anything in here? Oh yeah, who the heck am I? I just don't know who they are. Cloud computing? Sponsoring Ludum Dare. It's pretty cool. There we go, link. Where can other people find that book snail? Is it not like I can't find it? I would have thought it would be on the website. Wait. Oh, every Discord server has this fancy onboarding thing now. What do I want to do in this community? I mean, I'm like all of the above. I guess, I don't know. I guess these I'm like, oh wow, oh okay. Yeah, and also just lurking like that. Give me all the roles. Is this like even official one? Oh, it's as official as it gets. Cool. Oh, yeah, people get like roll tax for every Ludum Dare they've done. Oh, I could have quite a few of them. The streaming thing doesn't seem to work anymore either. I mean, it's not even loading now, but it was just showing like a random unit stream that was like, and he was offline. It showed him as like live at 170 views. I feel like it's shown that every single time I've been on this page. Maybe they're updating it now. It's like not even doing anything anymore. Content delivery now. Interesting. Just kind of out there, you know. It's just like, I don't know. It's usually like game engines or whatever, right? Or like just tools. I used to like it because it would be like, I would often be in it. So I'd be like, hey, it's me. Yeah, what forums are these you talking about, Casual Pigeon? Do you mean like this? Do you mean like the feed? I don't remember there ever being. But I also didn't know it was a Discord, and I have no idea what the link was to that. Oh, right, okay, I mean that. Yeah, I could see that happening. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks that they had to do that, you know? I figured it would be something like that. I figured it was some kind of spam issue or something they were trying to prevent. It's like that's kind of like, it's just kind of annoying and like less accessible, right? Would like a capture not have been better? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, they had a big thing about, well, I took part in the conversation about, like, should people be allowed to use the AI tools to make assets and stuff like that, and I think, like, yeah, because at the point at which, like, that's actually better than, like, developers just, you know, the point at which AI can just make games better than we can, like, there's a lot more questions to be asked than how do we run Ludum Dare, you know? Like, it's like, so it's just like, you kind of may as well allow it. I don't know, Ludum Dare has always just, like, walked its own path, made its own little decisions about, like, I don't know, I always respect how they worked. I'm sure they'll probably have some reason for doing how they did it. Takes the physics of my game engine. And it's interesting, right? Because, like, obviously I'm even starting with, like, helper scripts and stuff. Like, at what point are you just starting with a game? The thing with doing something like this, though, is like, okay, you're really committed to making something with a physics engine? I don't know, I feel like, I mean, that's cool. It's like, when you have this much, like, in advanced prep or whatever, it's like, okay, there's only certain kinds of games you can really do, right? I suppose that works. I mean, I suppose you don't have to use the thing that you made prior, but yeah. Do not know this is. Oh yeah, that's it. What are people saying? Oh really? Is that actually a rule? Interesting. Please submit games built with AI generators as jam or extra games and not the compo. We're still working on the new generators policy. Fair enough. I'm gonna go absolutely ham, use as much AI as possible. I'm curious how much can be done. So I mean, it's an interesting experiment. The roughest thing for me with me is like using the art tools, because not because of what it creating and giving an unfair advantage or any of that nonsense. Like I don't think it really does, but like it's more just like the way it gets its art from just people so directly, you know? There's a lot of a lot of moral issues at the moment with the way a lot of art tools generate this stuff. But like, yeah, I don't know, it's complicated. I think it's cool if you create stuff that you draw over and whatnot. It's a cool use. Yeah. Yes, Godot or Unity, the only two. What do you? I don't know what you're referring to. Something on the screen. See, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of those. What is the like? I feel like there's not enough like info about this like up front and center, you know. It's all a spare time thing, right? Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing, just sitting there. Oh yeah, what I was meaning to do is put GM Live. I'm getting tired now. I really wanted to be more energetic on the run up to the... You know, it's the theme! But like, ugh, it's literally revealing at the time I just want to go to bed. And wake up and then attack the day fresh. But now I'm gonna know what the theme is, I'm gonna be thinking about it while I'm trying to sleep. Hate the start time so much. At least it does let me do a little like countdown stream, whereas like it was kind of hard to do that when it was 2 AM. But yeah, I'm not big on 11 PM. Let's all right, yeah, we imported that, so we got that now. It's right there. He's right there. I constantly, like, I actually forgot GM Live needs an object in the room doing its thing. Because you can kind of do that thing with like input does and stuff, where like it's like totally objectless. You literally just bring the scripts in and it works. It's kind of wild. Like a lot of GG's libraries and stuff, because you can do that now. It's just GG is insane and has infinite free time. Oh no, has negative free time, it seems. Spends more time than exists somehow, breaks time and space. New users' posts won't show up on the feed unless they are manually flagged as trustworthy. God dang. Some aggressive solution. I mean, there's no I didn't see any spam bots, so that's good, I guess. I guess it worked. Little init room. Oh man, I can't believe there's still the. Change that again. Just to anything else, like I don't know, 64360 or something. Yeah, that's my pre-prepared engine. I mean, don't get me wrong, as I know what I'm making, I'm sure I'll grab all kinds of stuff from other products. I do that all the time now. I'm just like, hey, I need... Like, if I need a pause menu, I'm totally grabbing the stuff I've already made in Pokepoke and just, like, slamming that in. And slap the things together. It is. Yeah, it really sucks. It is a 11 PM reveals the most cliffhanger way to start this jam in the UK. Gonna try and squeeze a couple in before bed and have a think about the theme. So yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Like, I'm just taking the theme, being like, cool. My brain will do its thing and probably prevent me from getting much sleep. But like, I'm just gonna take that, be like, all right, cool. That's the theme. Good luck, everybody. See you all tomorrow. Oh yeah, you did just say have a think about the theme, but like, yeah, no way I'm like actually writing anything tonight. It sounds better for something, like, it sounds like a more sensible time, you know, start at 11 rather than like 2 AM. But like, I preferred when it was 2 AM. I really did. Go to bed, wake up, and get going, you know? The ideal time for me would be the start of like 8 AM. Yeah, like 8 AM. On Saturday. Or like something like, I guess like midnight-ish over in America or whatever. But at that point, if you go all the way to the other end, like, it's like essentially starting like Saturday afternoon on the other end of all the time zones. It's hard. It's hard to get something that really works for everyone. But like that 2 AM spot was like fine. I was comfy with that. And I swear I remember them reading that like, oh, they did this to like help Europeans, and it just like, I don't know, it feels worse. It feels so much worse. Like, who is this time better for? Because it means it's starting even earlier in, like, the US, right? Like, if you're in the US, this starts, like, I don't know, like, up to 8 hours even, yeah, I don't even know, like, it's like halfway through Friday. It's the night owls? Like turbo night owls. Well, yeah, just get started now, like, work 12, like, go to sleep at, like, 11 a.m. Like, sleep through the day. Wake up at, like, 7 in the evening, get back to work. When you have an entire platform template you made a year ago, sick. And this is where you discover that you don't want to make a platform. $3 p.m. It's 3 p.m. for you, and it's like that's wild. Right, it's 3 p.m. on Friday for you, and the jam starts in like 8 minutes. Wait, do you mean it's like almost 3, or do you mean it's like almost 4? I guess it doesn't really matter. There's so much difference, but like still, it's like early, like bordering on mid-afternoon, right? Like, I suppose that's kind of mid-afternoon, right? But like, that's just like, I don't know, it's like just starting so early on a Friday. That's just kind of crazy. Like, most people would be at work still. I suppose you don't lose much time off the start though. But like, it's still weird. I don't know, starting it on the Friday feels wrong. Maybe that's just me though. I am miles away from this microphone. I should probably move it. I'm just leaning further and further back into my stupid chair. Yeah, I'm just leaning around. Get my chin proper just looking very attractive right now. Ugh. I hate the start time because I have stuff to do from 4. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, who gets a comfortable start time out of this? That to the moon, it is. Yeah. I think my mum got me that. The canvas behind me, if I can point at, yeah. The Dragonite. Yeah. It's kind of like, I mean, I just put it because it's a cool Pokemon, but like, it also helps that we have like a Dragonite in the community, right? Dragonite spams a GameMaker person. So we have a little mascot for him back over there. I like that little shelf in general. It's one of the nice little bits of this room. This room's coming together pretty well. You can't really see most of it. This is just one. There's a little corner of like the biggest room. This is like the biggest room in the house. Only playable game you've seen from RPG Maker? You should try Lisa the Painful. It's a very strong RPG Maker game. And it's like a platformer, it's wild. Sure what I picked for the theme again? Yeah, sure. How long we got now? Like 5 minutes? Theme announcement soon. Check Twitter. Theme. Oh, it's actually ended now as well. I'm glad I got my adjustment in for Strange Machines in time. Can't change it anymore. Locked in. Kind of a weird gradient thing because I can't really tell at a glance because they all just look grey. I have to like line it up and be like, what did I pick? I mean, it looks nice, it's just like hard to read in a weird way. What is the text below my name? Oh, sure, yeah. Okay. That's great, this. The lead business person. It's got like sticky stuff on the back, but I never found somewhere I wanted to stick it, so it's just kind of like sat there. Emma's brother got me this. And I don't know, I just thought it was just thought it was really funny. Appropriately gender neutral and everything. Lead business person. Yeah, I kind of wanted to put it on my door, but it was just like, just make me laugh every time I came into my office, but I kind of like it sitting back there. He's got me a bunch of things a bit like that. It's like, got me like a what you call them? One of these type of thing you put a cup on. Words. Place no. Coaster, thank you. Yeah, coaster. Idiot. Yeah, it got me a coaster that said like employee of the year runner up. And it was just funny because obviously I'm self-employed. Just like I don't know, I just thought yeah, he's good. It's good at he's got good jokes. I like it. Still got that, so it's downstairs somewhere. About the creator account again. Like anyone who's like worried about the whole code and working on that kind of stuff, you have a whole you can just leave it to your submission now. You know, you don't stress about the website. Like it's a good idea if you can get your account, join the event, make a blank game, have it there ready, right? But like you don't. It's not essential. If you don't have any of this done in the next 2 minutes, you don't need to worry about it. Because maybe that's just me thinking people worry about that kind of thing, but maybe they don't. Maybe everyone knows that or whatever, but I just think it's always useful to point out. Is there anything in here? There's not really anything in here you can do ahead of time. Really? See the theme, then go to the gym. Oh, that's good. I like that. Go to the gym while like just thinking about the theme. Yeah, that's a solid plan. I like that. Panic. Oh yeah, we got a minute. Minute. Feels like the countdown to Christmas. Oh, it's reposted? Maybe this was like reposted today. Why am I in like light mode Twitter? What's this? How do I... What? When did this happen? Where even is settings? Oh my god. Goddamn website. Really gross. I wonder why my eyes were bleeding. It's better. About 5 seconds. I mean, this isn't really accurate. It's just like as lined up as it can be with the website. Boom. Now it's just gone into this mode. And on here it still shows we've got 30. but my system clock, which is a bit more reliable, has just hit 11. The website won't even refresh. I don't know what here. Right. Everyone. Oh yeah, New Year's Eve feeling. I'm liking this. This is cool. Oh, this would be a... Oh, I should have done this. I should have sat and just refreshed this for the last 5 minutes. Themes on Twitter? No spoilers. I'm looking away from chat. Limited space. Of course it is. I can't get back to my votes. Can I? No, it's just gone. It's just gone. And the whole website just melts. How am I not logged in? Oh yeah. Of course. Of the very few. I didn't downvote many, or about what? 6 of them? 6 downvotes. It's not that unlikely. But like, I feel like this was the one I complained the most about. I should have seen it coming. It's always the one I complain the most about. The reason I complained about it was because I think it's a good theme. I think they're all good themes. Solid. But like, my complaint with it was that all games do this kind of thing, you know? But games do this as just like a component of themselves, right? Yeah, I did make it happen through my complaining. You're right. Well, I also didn't like Strange Machines, and then I came up with an idea I really liked for it, you know? But yeah, I just thought this is it's too gamey. It's too, like, there's too many things. This is what I talked about earlier, just talking about stupid AI nonsense, right? It's just the ideas for this that we're gonna do, because, you know, the guy was saying is like partly right, you know, it's like there's no true such thing as creativity in a way, right? It's all like mimicry of other stuff. And it's like, when you get something that's as gamey as this, the things that's gonna make us mimic is games. And I feel like you get so many more interesting ideas when you mimic. So that would be my advice to everyone, is try to come up with ideas for this that come from outside of your experiences with video games. Obviously you don't have to do that, but I think like if you want to try and be a bit creative, you want to try and do something that's like a little more interesting, I think like that's usually the way to do it. Don't rely on your experience playing games. Grab that experience from somewhere else. At least involve something in your idea that doesn't come from games you've just enjoyed recently. But also feel free to ignore them and do whatever you want. For anyone just joining, the theme is limited space. Is that... What's this? Open day. Oh, this took me a while, because they always post like an image that's like vaguely to do with the theme or whatever, and I was like, what the hell does this have to do with limited space? And it's like a telescope, like with which you can see space, but only between limited space. I feel like I just explained that. Everyone else is just like, yeah, we didn't need that explaining to us. Like, we understand. Like, it was really obvious. And like, but it just took me forever. It just took me so long to get. Oh no. I was like, yeah, totally. Wasn't the person asking the wrong question? Same question? Did someone I ask what it was? It's a pretty mid. Yeah, it's pretty mid theme. What an evergreen response. What absolutely Farmer Joe Dev evergreen response to a theme announcement for Ludum Dare. Like it's just like you could just like schedule a bot to be like every time Ludum Dare announces a new theme to respond with that. It's such a good set. It is such a good set. It is still a good set. There are plenty of sets where this would have been like my top one, but this set was so good that it is not that it's not in the top. It's in the bottom, right? Limited Space is a great one. It's a great theme, but like, it's just not as great as the other. And something I will always say, and I think needs reiterating now that the theme has come out and everyone is despairing. Because I see people saying, you know, my condolences to the theme, and I was thinking about the theme or whatever. I will remind you all, the theme doesn't really matter that much. And I don't mean in terms of you don't have to stick to it, although that is also true. I just mean that you come up with something and you roll with it, and like, people will make amazing games with this regardless. They will make stuff that's so cool. Everyone is despairing together. Everyone is like, the same every year. It doesn't matter what the theme is. Like, there's no such thing as a good theme. Doesn't matter which one of these won. Even though they're all great, doesn't matter which one of these won. I guarantee you'd see like the same number of people talking about how awful it is. Absolutely every time, guaranteed. But it does stand out to me that I'm not seeing anyone excited. I'm not seeing anyone being like, oh wow, yeah, sick, that's the theme I wanted to win. Like, normally you at least see someone be like, yes, you know, like, usually about one in, right? Because everyone has the one theme they really want to win. So it's like, well, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like 16. So 1 in 16 people is usually like, yeah. You know? Like, Noah's Ark. Dig it. Because like I say, I've basically done that theme before, right? So like, but like not intentionally, but like I involve the concept of limited space in my games a lot. You know, like it's because it's just a general constraint, right? A general, like, if you have a space that is fundamentally a resource to the player, constraining that space usually is interesting. Like, is just usually true, right? To constrain that space in some way or other. Unlimited space is generally not that interesting. So, Fireball is very much that, right? You have this like limited arena that gets smaller and smaller and smaller the more you break it apart. Infinite Arc is very much that. You have this limited like area of the ship to like store things in, and so you have to really make decisions about what you want to bring with you, what you want to leave behind, and so on. Unsustainable is, I mean, just look at it. You know? Like, I'm not saying that this is the central theme of like a lot of these games, other games that I've made and so on. You could argue it's a pretty central theme of Fireball, but like, and of depth in a way, right? Like, moving around, but like, and so there is a difference there, right? Of it being the central theme, but I worry about the fact that like it's a theme that applies to so many like components and areas and ideas in games. Does Resident Evil 4? Absolutely, yeah. Like the inventory, like the idea that comes to mind for me is like Diablo, and I haven't played Resident Evil, but I'm aware they have that same kind of like items of different sizes that you kind of Tetris around your inventory, right? And that is like limited space mechanically, right? And I've seen people do games, because we've had themes a bit like this before, and people do games that are a bit like arranging a Diablo inventory. There's one, I can't remember what you did in it, but there's one sticking in my head that I remember playing. And that stuff's cool, but it's like, I worry that because there's so many things like that we've all played and all experienced, that's what's going to come to mind for everyone. Everyone's going to be drawing their ideas from games. And I think you get the least interesting jam games when the ideas for those games just come from games that exist, and especially when it's just come from parts of games. Like, they can be interesting, for sure. You know, people can have their own take on them, because if they mix that with something else, and some other take and some other idea, then you get something that could be interesting. But yeah, I don't know, it's gonna be a tricky one. And I have no idea, and I'm just saying all this while I have no idea what I'm gonna make. I'm trying to think if I can still do my little weird robot game and make that work. It's limited inventory space or whatnot, right? I actually kind of could. I could just do my Strange Machines game. Because the core part of that game for me was going to be being the player being made out of components. You know, basically like an Armored Core, right? Where it's like you have like your core, your legs, your head, arms, weapons, and stuff like that. And the way I was going to do it was basically make like a little battle royale arena type of thing with a bunch of just like AI robots like mooching about in it, and you've got to like beat all the other robots, and maybe they fight each other and stuff as well. And as you break them, they drop their parts, and you could like swap like their head for your head if it's a better one, or a weapon type, and swap them around and stuff like that. And try and like come up with a build as you go that's like gonna beat like the other robots. And then have just interesting counterplay between different parts, where some parts are, you know, some weapons are bigger against others and so on, but also there could be like stats of like, you know, some, I don't know, you like a hover platform for movement that's like really fast, but you can't carry as much stuff on the top or whatever, right? This could be kind of interesting. But I don't know, it just feels like it's like loosely fits the theme, and I really like to get a strong hook on the theme. Is there a non-open world game that doesn't fit the theme? I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, you could argue that just, like, literally any space that is not finite, that is not infinite, is therefore, by definition... Like, limited, I don't think really means the same thing as finite, right? Like, it does, sure, but I think, like, you know, the reason you would use finite to convey a certain meaning, and you would use limited to convey a subtly different meaning. I think limited, you have the sense that you really feel the constraint. Finite just means a constraint exists. You know, like, there are borders, there are edges to the world. So, like, I'd agree with your, like, thing of, like, oh, well, all non-open world games are this theme. But, like, if the theme was finite space, but it's not, it's limited space. And I think those are, like, it's a subtle difference, but I think it's an important difference, right? How do I make my website thing refresh? How do I make this refresh? My timer is, like, incorrect now, right? LD timer. I don't know if there's a way I can just force it to refresh. I'll refresh cache of current page. I can brilliant. Yeah, I can do that. Well, it's not even loading the timer, so I've just made it worse. I've made it worse. It's alright, it'll hopefully be working tomorrow. I don't know for now. Anyway, yeah, it's been 15 minutes already. 15 minutes of time just gone. I've done nothing. I'm behind. It's all over for me. Can't possibly finish a game now. Limited space. It's literally just drafting magic cards but in space, or like the limited format. Open world games even fit the theme, even Minecraft is limited space thing. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? It's like you can stretch it, but that's clearly not what's meant, you know? Clearly, like, to really feel this theme and to say, like, yeah, it fits the theme, I really think you've got to say, like, it's limited space, it's not finite space, you know? It was on the edge of my knowledge, Callie, but yeah, I did, yeah. Where you can only press the space bar, so see, that's great. Someone's gonna do that. Someone's gonna do that. You can only press the space bar a certain number of times. The idea of shrinking your space would really make you feel a limited part. Yeah, I kind of want to do... I mean, it feels like an obvious one, or like Battle Royale space or whatever, because I kind of wanted to do the Strange Machinery game and that kind of thing. I'm just going to be like, yeah, so I went with like 3 of the themes. But like, with it being like limited space, I'm thinking more about how like the inventory of the robot should work, and maybe it should be a more complex part of it, but I don't know. Or maybe I should just try and come up with a new idea, but I feel like I've thought about this one so much, and like I love robots, and I just kind of want to make a robot game. And maybe just doing what I want to do. Just doing what I want to do is usually pays off for me. Like, in my experience, that's like the way to go. Hang on, let me turn off my advanced scene switcher, because I'm sick of looking at the side of my nose, which I always do if I'm looking at the chat over here. So what I'm gonna do is put left monitor up over here. I'll put the theme on so people can see what it is. Look, I've even got robots on my desktop. It's destiny. Wait, we lost the website. I've lost the website. I'll leave this up. I also got announced on the Discord. I could have just looked at that, although 2 minutes later, so... Oh, there's people that are like hype and stuff, yeah. Well, there's nice emotes over there, although there's 14 scream emotes. Telescope has... Yeah, it's kind of doing a bit of a PogChamp, isn't it? Like if you include, yeah, like to include this. Oh, it looks a bit like a duck or a penguin, yeah, a pingu. And when you rearrange stuff to fit in the limit space, you go, yeah, I mean, that's just like, that's the thing I have with that, is like yeah, but like, that's just a component of so many games anyway. Like, is that a game in its own right? Are we just making Tetris? Should we all just make Tetris? Game where you play as a compression algorithm matching similar elements to save space. I think there'll be lots of cool stuff. It's not my favourite. In fact, it was probably my least favourite. But I don't know if I'm deciding that after the fact, because I found it hard to decide on a least favourite when asked earlier. Whereas now that the theme's been announced, I feel very clearly that this was my least which feels a bit, you know. Don't know what to do with this theme. I feel it's kind of so much abstract. It's very mechanical, right? So it's really kind of telling me something mechanical, unless you see space as like literally like your space bar or your... Trust me a little good, thank you. So really it's like, if you're struggling, it's just make any kind of game that you kind of feel like and just really constrain the space in it. You know, all games have spaces, and just see like where it is interesting to constrain the space. Actual limited space idea. Space is limited functionally rather than just a limited amount of it. That require the programming knowledge to... I'm sure what you mean. That one missed me. But yeah, I'm loving this telescope now. The more we have it on the screen, we are anthropomorphizing this telescope in real time. I'm just happy I have the chance to show the theme again. No, like, I want this pattern to end. I want it to just be one of the ones I thought was really good. ChatGPT cold this time? Like, what me? I don't know. Sure, here's some arbitrary guesses. Oh, is this stats? Oh yeah, I love looking at this. That's actually crazy. From memory, I could be wrong, but like I feel like it's really rare to have like almost 50% of the themes here. If this is all of them, it looks like all of them. To have like 50% of them actually be positive score. Like normally, like whenever I look at this, and this could just be my memory and my anecdotal experience, but like my memory of this is always like negatives in the hundreds, all the way up to like at least the top 3. No, it's the actual highest, is it? But usually that's kind of a function of the one that is least voted down rather than the one that is like everyone wants, and that's why it feels like everyone hates that. That's what makes it feel like everyone hates the theme. Strange Machines did come second, so the poll at the time we sampled it was not that far off, because the poll had Strange Machines at top. And I don't get it either. You know, like I don't get it. Like I don't know who these people are. Who, like, these are all the ones I thought were kind of... I mean, I liked Tiny Creatures, but I didn't think it was actually like a great theme. I did vote it up, I think. I can't see any. Where's the theme thing? I'm sure there must be a link somewhere I can still hunt down. Yeah, Tiny Creatures, I did almost vote that down, but like, look at the ones like Keep the Lights On. Strange Machines I did have voted down for a while and then decided I actually had a cool idea for it. Limited Space. Break the Cycle, and Locks and Keys did get annihilated. And so I'm surprised Folklore did that badly. To say that it made it to the final round as well. So what democracy looks like, no one is happy. I don't know. I think, like, people are happy. People are just loudly unhappy. Like, this is a positive score. This is voted up by more than 416 people, because this doesn't even... Because that's, like, after subtracting everyone who voted it down, you know? So, like, just think about how many people voted this up. Like, that's an amazing score. Like, that was a very popular theme. Top 4 are all multiple words? Yeah. Everyone let me down. Everyone did so well in this, like, this Ludum Dare voting for themes. We got such a great final round of themes. And then at the last second, everyone disappoints me by voting for the worst themes in that set. But they could only do so much damage because it was such a good set. This is... I can't overstate how much this is a great set of themes. And so the worst of the bunch is still good. You know, like, you can't actually... There was no awful theme. None of these were a disaster. None of this was... There was no combined two incompatible genres in this. There was no entire game on one screen in this. There were, you know, like... This is good stuff. A game where your map shrinks if you jump with the space key and you have to reach the end of the level before it's too small to reach it. I like it. Huh. Yeah. I don't think the idea, like, the idea I have is, like, it's the theme technically, but, like, I feel like even acknowledging what I've just been saying about the theme is, like, I don't know that that's enough for me to feel like a really honest attempt at the theme. Yes, Azenris. It's very rare, but it did happen once. There was a joint win of the theme's 2-button controls and the theme growing. So what they presented that as was you can use either or both. I decided to use both for it, and that is actually one of my favorite games I ever made. Life is Short. It was like mouse controlled, hence 2 buttons, which some people thought was kind of like, I don't know, cheating or whatever, because it's like, oh, your mouse can aim as well. But I thought it was clever. So, and also just made for a really cool game. Really good control scheme that I would never have thought of myself either. Like, it was actually one of those cases of a constraint really helping me a lot. And I really usually hate those kinds of themes as well, so like that actually worked really well for me. And then growing was like the whole idea of the game is like you were a kid and you like aged over time and your stats changed with it, and it was kind of this little weird RPG sim thing. I wonder how many of these games are going to involve the spacebar. Be interesting to see someone make a game about like the hopeless despair of outer space and that everything is getting further apart, and it's like one of the main reasons it's like impossible to reach like really far off places is not just because of the matter of trying to travel at the speed of light or beyond the speed of light, but it's like these things are accelerating away from us, and the longer it takes us to like try and get anywhere, like places become actually just physically impossible to reach forever at a certain point. And so we literally like run out of, you know, like space that we can ever reach is like fundamentally limited. And actually becomes more limited over time because the universe is expanding. Everything's moving away from one another at an accelerating rate. Yeah, sorry everyone. Have a good sleep. Yeah, I suppose. But it's like limited in like from a certain perspective, right? Aliens are moving away from us. I suppose you could look at it like that. Sounding like a curse, because I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where I learned about that from. Probably why it sounds like that. Sounds like the most meth theme might win as it gets less minus votes compared to... Yeah, true. So it's like... I don't know what the strength is of the 0 vote. You know, how many people are like, about a theme. And because they're not subtracting from it, it's like, it outperforms all the ones that are just getting bombed to oblivion. People feel much more strongly in general about the themes they don't like, rather than the themes they do. And there's just less themes they like, right? I feel like there needs to... You know what I would do to mix it up? Because I'm just a nerd, is I would make like an analog vote, like a more analog voting system. So like, rather than being like +1, 0, -1, I'd have it like you can rate them like -1 to 5 or something. I don't know, maybe that, does that actually change it for the better? I'm not sure, but I think it'd be interesting to be able to like be more specific about the ones you like, and be able to say which ones you like more than others. Because I don't like all the ones I voted up the same amount, and I don't dislike the ones I voted down the same amount. Seems to be ranked from least favorite to most favorite. That could be cool. I feel like you'd end up in a similar situation, right? I don't know, where it's like the most middling ones win. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the maths of this stuff well enough to say. So the only way to like really see how it plays out would be to play it out, and then it's like, then you have to go through a bunch of Ludum Dares of it maybe being way worse, or maybe being way better. Whereas this, like, it works. Like, for whatever it does work. I don't know. I think we get decent themes out of it. I say this was a unicorn of a final in my experience. Anyway, I don't know what the last few have been like, because I've not done one in 4 years. Like 4 years, 4 Ludum Dares. 49 was my last one. That's been, yeah, this was like the 5th one since then, right? Christ. But like, so yeah, I missed out on 4. But I imagine they've all been kind of similar. There used to be at least, I don't know if it was 4 and then a final round, or if it was 3 and then a final round. I'm sure it used to be more than 1, 2 final. So I'm sure some of it's changed a little bit around, right? Ranked voting is usually more... Yeah. We're seeing... It's a very different context, right? So I don't know how it would work in this. Because, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the option that everyone just dislikes the least doesn't feel great, but maybe that's actually what's best for everyone. Kind of what the numbers suggest. And as I say, like, 416 is an amazing score. Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it's just fine. Like, just because no one here is talking, like, I don't know, maybe all the people that like it are not saying anything about it because they're busy working on their games and they're excited. It does, because it just always feels like this, you know, it just always feels like everyone's complaining. There's never a fanfare. Never a fanfare when the theme gets come out of everyone being like, yeah, that's the one that won, that's the one we all wanted. Even though statistically it is. Like, The numbers don't lie. 416 after adjustment, you know, after subtracting everyone who downvoted it. That's a lot of upvotes. Poor Folklore, man. Absolutely obliterated. The only thing I don't get, I just don't get what appealed about it, though. That's the thing, I just can't, I'm just like, was this really that appealing? Was Strange Machines that appealing? Tiny creatures I get, because I find that just naturally really appealing, regardless of anything else. Just tiny creatures, it's cool. Keep the light on? Wait, was that in the final round? Yeah, it was. Well, that was in the other round. God, I'd forgotten about this one. That one kind of sucks, actually. Maybe that's the worst of the bunch. Yeah, I'd kind of forgotten about it. Oh, well, yes. God, everyone loved it. Like, anything that's positive is, like, crazy, right? Anything positive at all was, like, probably very popular. Tangentially, Folklore was the highest rated theme in the Slaughter. Wow. Funny how that works out. Oh, that's so weird. The stats of this are just fascinating to me because they just break my brain and I just don't understand. You know? I just don't get it. To reverse the list before showing it. Can we, right, imagine if this was the other way around. Would it make more sense? Would I feel more in vibe with it? Not really, because Locks and Keys is a disaster. It's not a disaster, it's not that bad. But it's like it's pretty weak, right? Compared to the others. And like I don't love Folklore, but it's like I don't think it deserves to be down here. No, yeah, for me the best ones are all like here. So it is what it is. Anyway, that was the theme. I will see you all tomorrow when we actually start making a video game. I've got an idea of what I want to make, but it's like I've not allowed myself to come up with any other ideas. So I'm gonna have to have a thing. It's probably gonna stop me sleeping very well. And so I'm probably gonna just stumble and tomorrow swallow in my meds and just like let's go. But we'll see. I look forward to it nonetheless. I look forward to seeing some of you guys tomorrow. Best of luck to everyone taking part. Anyone starting now, good luck. Anyone starting tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. And anyone who's not taking part and just wants to hang out and watch, thank you all for being here. See you guys tomorrow too. And yeah, let's have a good one. So cheers everyone. Thanks for hanging out. It's been dope. And yeah, I've said it a million times already. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye everybody.